right, so let's jump right in. Welcome back to another episode of Binging and Bickering, and we are about, 18 months away, removed from the pretty disappointing Game of Thrones finale.
Yeah.
Right, it's something around 18 months. I think
It's
it was
been a
last
while. It
May
still
or-
feels like it was like May or June of 2018 or maybe 20. No, it was 2019. 2019. May or June of 2019. And it feels like just yesterday where the ending of that series like ruined.
Yeah, I mean, we're not here to do a movie review of the ending. I'm pretty sure you're allowed to have your opinion of it, but most people were.
I think everybody
disappointed.
feels the same way.
But there is still enough to relish.
Yeah.
Upon reflection, and that's kind of what this that's kind of the intention of this episode is. Now that our animosity has died down a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot, to look back at Game of Thrones and kind of just go over some fun talking points that I think we all have in our regular conversations about Thrones, which is, best fighter comes up, who's the best conniver, who's, I'm looking at the fucking board 'cause I can't remember goddamn 5 points.
Which house would you choose?
Favorite battle?
Yeah.
Okay, so
most shocking death.
Let's try to just dive right into it.
Okay.
We're going to start with trial by combat. If you were, in a Tyrion-like position where you need someone to fight for your life, who are you picking to be your champion?
I think, regardless of how they're developed, I think Game of Thrones has so many awesome characters that, prove themselves, worthy on a battlefield. And I know, I'm not picking the Mountain. Because I feel like you can't, because
He also got his ass kicked when they did that fight. Before they made him, zombie
before
Mountain.
he was zombie, he did get his ass kicked. But I think who ended up being my favorite character in the whole show was Arya, and I really like her. She had a real journey and ended up being her ending to the show. I think was most fitting for her. She's gonna go explore the beyond, and she kind of got to a point to where she had to forget who she was and become what she always wanted to be. And she's a badass, dude. I wanted to see her kill Cersei so bad. I wanted her to
Not a pile of rocks.
I want to no. Well, she kills the Night King, and I think the most hype I've ever been watching a TV show was I'll always remember the moment when she flew in from behind
all
and
of us in our apartment.
we jumped up like we were watching the Super Bowl. It was so awesome, and just her journey, her abilities, her skills to fight, and because she's small and she's expert with swords and daggers and stuff like that, she's kind of plays a ticky-tack game, and I love that in a fight. I think I would pick Arya for me in a trial by combat.
Yeah, and by the end, she has just some of the sickest weapons too.
Yeah.
She has the Littlefinger's dagger, which is cool, and then she has Needle, her sword. I really like that scene of her and Brienne kind of doing their own little sparring session. It kind of feels like a trial by combat a little bit.
That's the other thing. So, Brienne of Tarth, she makes Brienne of Tarth look silly in front of everybody when they're just training. And somebody immediately. One of my favorite things out of Game of Thrones lifespan was somebody on YouTube changed all the swords to lightsabers.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those.
And Brienne and Arya's turned into one of those two.
Arya's a good pick. She was on my list.
Brienne of Tarth is also a bad character in Star Wars, since we're talking about
Captain Phasma.
Yeah,
Chrome Dome. We've shit on Star Wars too much on this show. Let's stay on topic.
Let's stick with
So
Game of Thrones.
I was thinking Braun at first, but unless he has something to gain, like he is not trustworthy.
No, I wouldn't
whatsoever.
want him to fight for me because I feel like he wouldn't. Like he get paid off
Although
by the competition.
His scene
to lose
when
on purpose.
he fights for Tyrion at the Moon Door in the Vale is fucking hilarious. When he's taunting Lysa Arryn and she's like, "You fight with no honor," and he's like, "No, he did." The guy that he just threw down the Moon Door. Braun's a great pick. I thought of Oberyn, but again, ego's too big. He might fucking dance around like an ass clown and get his head caved in.
The biggest moment he possibly could have fought in, he fucked up. So yeah, I couldn't go Oberyn even though
everyone likes to take that scene. I do the same thing and just think he's probably the best in the entire show, but you see so little of it, and he just acts like a fucking idiot.
I'm kind of glad that I'm not glad, but like he died where he did, because like if he died in like a lame way, like on a ship because of what's his name?
Oh, like his
family.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I feel by Euron. I feel like that would have I feel like that would have been like the way he went had he survived. So like I feel like the way he died is
it works.
Cool.
No, he like kind of dominated the 4th season as like, this guy's badass, and he was a quick in and out, and it kind of made Pedro Pascal's career. I love the meme. It says Oberyn before the fight, "Today is not the day I die." Oberyn, the day he died. So I didn't go with him. Who did I go with? Oh, you know what? I kind of want just a brute who does not care if they live or die. I'm going with Tormund.
I thought about Tormund as well. He
fucked a bear.
He's such an amazing like character, and I love that he turned more than just like a background character. Like he's not just like the badass who's like fighting in the background and like cracking jokes and stuff like that. Like he's a lot more than that. Like if somebody said like he's my favorite character, like that is like a worthy choice, and he kind of took like center stage in the last couple of seasons, and I'm glad that he did.
He can do it all. You know, he's like throwing tomahawks at people and shit, and then chasing them down and killing them. I love in the Watchers of the Wall episode when all the wildlings are killed, and he's just the last one still killing
and
guys.
He's just killing everybody.
Yeah, and he's like limping around. Yeah, that's so I'm going with him. I think the Hound was another one I thought of, but he's also gotten his ass kicked a couple of times.
Yeah, he had to go hang out with Ian McShane to like learn about who he was.
Yeah.
Before he like came back and then like continued to not die until a fucking castle fell on him.
And Jon is the easiest fucking lamest pick.
Yeah.
I love armor killed my image of Jon.
I love Jon, but like you can't pick him because like he remained the same character throughout the entire show. Like there was kind of very
it's like he stayed true to his character, but he just grew in terms of prominence.
Right. And you know, I mean, like I guess you could say like it was almost like his relationships with others is what developed, but not really him. So
I feel like that's a fair statement.
Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't mean he's not awesome, but like, you know, it's like if we had our Harry Potter episode a couple weeks ago. It's like if we only talked about Harry the whole time.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And you can't pick Daenerys because she has fucking dragons, and that's not in a trial by combat.
She's the biggest reason why probably the ending of the show stunk. So like my like viewpoint of Daenerys is just tarnished now, kind of like because she's like, we're not trashing on this show. Let's talk.
Let's move on. We claimed the animosity was gone. I don't know how much that's holding up. Oh, we keep forgetting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. God, we're terrible at that. That's even more reason.
I'm gonna pick it up. Don't unlike. Don't unsubscribe.
All right. We'll move on. We'll move on. All right. Who played the Game of Thrones the best, which is essentially who was the best politician, right?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I was having trouble with this one. I feel like there's a lot of good choices because Cersei was always great. Tywin, the master puppeteer, was always great. Outside of getting killed on the shitter, he seemed invincible a lot of the times. Baelish was great, but he kind of, his ways eventually got himself off.
Right.
So to me, that kind of expels him a little bit, as much as I love him. I fell on Davos.
Okay.
You want to know? Because he just stays this humble, honorable knight throughout the entire show. And he's another guy. I liked how his story concluded. He's the master of ships at the end. He kind of got what he deserved by just staying loyal and just as a voice of reason in the room. He wasn't trying to step on people. He's just a good person for the realm. And I feel like his lack of selfish intentions is what got him to survive the entire show.
That's a really good pick. Like, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about like people who like, you know, like slashed and killed their way, you know, and like, you know, maniacally like built their character up. And like Davos is like, I feel like the right pick. Like he's one of my favorite characters. I love him, and I didn't even think of like him as like playing the game the best because
it's like he almost doesn't even try to.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like he the allies he makes and the speeches he gives, like I just love that actor. I don't even know his name, but like he
Liam Cunningham.
He's been on Conan.
Tell him.
But like I love him because like his loyalty and like his willingness to like go into battle and die for somebody that's not like he never once sought like power.
Yeah.
Like he was just around to be like a role player and that, you know, that ended up like he survives, you know, he makes it out in the end.
Oh, shout out to Diana Rigg, who just passed away. Olenna Tyrell, one of the other great
She was amazing.
Yeah,
she was fantastic. Like her saying, "Tell Cersei it was me" to Jaime, like that is like one of the most badass moments in the entire show. Like, and she has it. But I think I am gonna go because like I wanted to go Baelish, but like he died. I want to go Cersei because until the fucking end, she remained a badass bitch. And if it weren't for a fucking dumb, stupid castle falling on her fucking head, she would have made it out. And like, she lasted longer than the Night King. She proved to be like the true like villain of the show. And I like, and she got kicked to the curb and like built her way back up and sat on the Iron Throne. She did it all.
Yeah,
and
talk about resilience. She got shit thrown at her in the streets and was queen.
Yeah, I mean she literally got shit on and made her way to be queen and like her villain arc is just so good. I mean the sept blowing the first what is that, like 10 minutes of that episode?
Something like that.
Oh my god, that is like the most like until like the Battle of Winterfell, like that opening to like an episode with like that song playing, like oh my god, that was like holy shit, this is gonna be so cool. And then like that guy who's like crawling for like the torch and stuff, and then they just get fucking destroyed. My girl Marjorie, she blows up, and then like and then Tommen kills himself hilariously, like. One of my favorite gifs of all time. Like later when the Bears probably go down to the Giants, like we're recording pre-Bears game, so just so let future people know I'm out on Mitch. He's gonna suck today. I'll tell you that right now. I hope I'm wrong, but
check back in next episode.
I won't be. Like if the Bears like go down, like I'm gonna be tweeting like the Tommen jumping out of the fucking window gif. It's one of my favorites, and like I wouldn't have that gif if it weren't for Cersei being like such an awesome badass bitch. I just absolutely love her. She's awesome, and She got, like, the fact that I had, like, sympathy for her at the end because she got a fucking castle dropped on her fucking head. What a dumb way for her to die. What a dumb way for her character to end. So fucking dumb. She deserved better than that.
We're not doing a review of the end.
Sorry.
I was going to say, call back to Tommen. Another great scene is when Joffrey dies and Tywin, when they're standing over his body, starts talking to Tommen about what makes a great king. Another just insight to his mind.
It say like if no king has to say he's king or something like that.
Well, he says that to Joffrey early on, but he kind of goes through the levels of strength, wit, all the piousness, all the different levels of being a king and what's most important. Great scene.
See, that's why I got to rewatch it, but like I need to distance myself as much as possible because like the beginning seasons were so fucking awesome.
Yeah. So let's move on then to most shocking death. This show is caked full of them.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's really hard to get over the Red Wedding, as much as it is that everyone says that. So I'll just bounce off because everyone knows. Catelyn dies, Robb dies, their baby dies, his wife dies.
That's the one. Like that was like the first like mass like reaction that got posted to like YouTube. Like that, like there's like, I mean, there's basically like a category of videos where it's like Red Wedding reactions. Like it's just because like that is like probably like the moment where the show was like, you don't know what's coming next.
Well,
Ned Stark too at the beginning
is the one I was gonna go with because it set the tone for the entire show. It's like you've been focusing on this character for 9 episodes and he gets beheaded.
Mm-hmm.
No one's safe. It set the tone. I love that one.
And Sean Bean is never safe in any movie that he's in.
Great actor.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's Boromir in Fellowship of the Ring.
That's right.
And he dies in that too.
He goes down fighting in that one.
That was awesome. This one
he's just a headless corpse, and he put it on a spike.
He's nearly headless, Ned. No, he's not nearly headless. He's all the way headless.
Which one are you going with?
We already talked about it, but like I can't not go Oberyn. Like Oberyn's my boy. Like I remember like that episode, like, 'cause like I remember like you and our friend Clint like referencing like him and like with Mike's pool table over there, like holding like the pool cues, going like, "Have they told you who I am?" And like that's all I knew before I watched the show. Like all I knew about the show was like Jon Snow and like, "Have they told you who I am?" So by the time I watched the show and got to Oberyn, I'm like, "Oh, this guy's fucking sweet." And then he gets murdered. He gets absolutely ripped. Like you think he's gonna win, and he's like, "Have they told you who I am?" It's like he's like, "You raped her, you murdered her," and then like he's standing over like the mountain, and then
calling out Tywin.
He's just like he's not paying attention, and the mountain like fucking flips under his feet, and then just smashes his head into like grape juice, and then like it's kind of funny.
I personally still find that scene tough to watch because it starts.
Well, you hear
swipes
like
off his feet. He punches his teeth out. They roll across, and then he gets on top of him, and they hold that shot for like a little bit where he's just squeezing on him, and you hear his like
his skull crushing,
disgusting.
And Tyrion just like
vomits.
Tyrion just like turns away, and like just like the screams, like. They're all fucked up, but like, I loved Oberyn, and like I like that death like sucks because like you wanted him to win that fight because of what he was fighting for, but like his arrogance got ahead of him, and he got his head turned into grape juice, is what I said before.
Yes, I'm trying to think of another of one of the other big shocking ones.
Missandei, like, getting fucking beheaded.
That was quick.
At the end. Like, I think of all the deaths in the last season, I think that one was like, holy shit. Like, because that was
saw dying.
Because, yeah, and that one was like, Cersei's not gonna, like, give up. Like, that's what helped, like, you know, Cersei's character be, like, as evil and awesome as she is. She knew she was facing dragons. She knew what she was up against, and she still didn't give a fuck. She beheaded Missandei, and like I think that was like the most shocking death in the last season.
I think you're right. Because Daenerys wasn't shocking, and they did. We're not reviewing, but hers was kind of, you could foresee it.
I kind of forgot that Jorah died in the Battle of Winterfell. I love Jorah. Jorah's an awesome character too. But like, is it shocking that he died? No. I like, you know, it's sad because he's an awesome character, but like, was it shocking? No. Like, he was gonna lay down his life for Daenerys, regardless of the battle. So like,
Hodor's was pretty shocking.
Yeah,
because the Night King comes out of nowhere and just wrecks. That's a good episode.
That's a great episode. Hold the Door is like, oh man, that was wild. Watching that for the first time,
it was sad.
Yeah,
he's seizuring on the ground.
Yeah, he's big fat kid.
All right, we're moving on to favorite battle, and I think this is one of the critiques with Thrones, is that early on they were kind of spaced out and really prolonged, and they mixed in politics and drama kind of in conjunction with the battles going on. And then as the show progressed, it just became battle after battle, kind of heavy on the VFX. And they were still epic, but you didn't get to savor them as much. So what would you say your favorite one is?
There are a lot that like I just like watching them like for the first time was just like jaw on the floor, just like hype, just watching people like die. Battle of the Bastards is like definitely like up there. I think it's probably like number 2. Daenerys like fucking just destroying like the Lannister.
Spoils of war.
Spoils of war.
One.
Like
Bronn.
Bronn saves Jaime. Like, that was nuts. What's the one where like Jon and like the Night King like stare each other down? Hardhome. Like, that one's fucking sweet. That one's probably top 3. But despite how the show ended, you know, and I know this episode now gets critiques for it, but the hype that I had watching the Battle of Winterfell was like unmatched. I think like it's arguably like the most excited I ever got watching the show. Watch it. I know the Night King died. Like, I know how the show ended. Clearly, you can tell I know how the show ended. But that battle, like, there was so much riding on that. Just I feel like if that was like the end of the show, like, they could have just wrapped it up. Well, they couldn't have wrapped it up right there. But if like the show ended there, it's like, yeah, I would have been disappointed, but I wouldn't have been as disappointed as I was 3 episodes later.
Right.
It was just, you know, it was so awesome. Just finally, like the Starks and all of their allies, like everybody that came to fight. Jaime came to fight. You know, he defected from his sister. He came to fight. Everybody came together, and they battled the fucking White Walkers, and like the Night King had his night fucking dragon, and Jon Snow's like staring down the dragon. All the while, the fucking song that's playing in the end.
Yeah.
The one thing I've like held on to Game of Thrones since the show's been over is the song Battle of Winterfell. It's 8 minutes and 6 seconds long. The final 8 minutes.
I thought it was called The Long Night. Or The Night King.
The Night King. It's called The Night King.
The Night King. Yeah.
The Night King is the title of the song, but the episode is Battle of Winterfell. It's 8 minutes and 6 seconds. when I need to like get up and like it's like a big day, like a big work day or something like that, or whatever, that song, it's a perfect time for a shower. I know like when the certain beats hit in that song, like I know like this is when I need to start shampooing. Like this is when I need to stop brushing my teeth. I just know like that song has cause like, well, I mean, like it's not just like the shower song. Like the reason why I listen to it because it's fucking awesome ass song, and like the way it like ended, and like Arya just like comes out of like the darkness and she drops the dagger and fucking like that. We already talked about it. Like that was like the most hype I've ever been like watching that show, and like, you know, that's the one I'm going with. Like I just like I you know, I could probably sit here and talk about Battle of the Bastards, Hard Home, like whatever, but like the Battle of Winterfell was so fucking awesome, and I wish the show ended better.
I respect the pick because a lot of people wouldn't say that, and yes, you can critique the writing all day in that episode. Sure, the logic's not really there, but visually, it is a stunning episode. I remember when Jon, Daenerys, and the Night King have kind of that dog fight in the air with their dragons, and they come above the clouds. It looks like a fucking painting. It's gorgeous. It's technically it's a beautiful episode. I love the music. I would agree. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I respect that episode. I think of what I remember of the end and being disappointed, I look on that one kindly for sure. I enjoyed it.
I think that's like the spotlight of the last season for sure, at least to me.
You could tell how much effort went into that episode.
Yeah.
So that's a good pick. I was also leaning towards Hard Home just because it's the first time you really feel like, oh, they're fucked. They're
fucked.
They just get decimated.
Well, that's the Night King goes like this, and everybody that they all like, all of their people that were just killed before they escaped, they're all on his side now, and you just see like. You witness the Night King and like what he can do, and then you know that the Night King like knows who Jon is because Jon slays one of his fucking.
And that's like the big triumphant moment for him, and it's like, oh, that didn't do a dent. That didn't do a thing.
No.
So the Hard Home's great. That's another one where it's just like you feel cold while you're watching it. The giant 1/1 stepping on people.
The good guys certainly don't win. They just get away.
Yeah.
And like I feel like they're despite like them getting away, there's a sense of dread and like that was the end of season.
It was towards the end of 5. It was
5?
episode 8 of season 5.
And like that was, I remember I was like, how it like that was wild. Like just like I said, like that sense of dread, like, you know, there were still 3 more seasons left of the show, and it was just like, but you knew like what the fuck, you know, it's
it was coming.
Yeah.
The scene 2 before the battle where Tormund's like talking to the Lord of Bones. He's like, we gotta gather the elders, and he's like, you brought a crow here, and Tormund just bashes the guy's head in with his staff, and he's like, gather the elders. It's like a 2-minute scene, and it's fucking hilarious.
Well, like it's very excessive bashing of the skull.
Yeah, he's just like standing over him. It's like, okay. I feel like one of the more underappreciated ones is the first real battle of the show, which is Blackwater Bay, which is one of the episodes that has quite a bit of strategy involved. That's when Tyrion has Bronn fire the what's it called?
The wildfire.
Mm-hmm. And he blows up Stannis' forces.
Yeah.
And then there's like all those great scenes with the Hound where he walks out to the battlefield and he's like, if any man dies by a blunt sword, I'll rape his fucking corpse. And then he proceeds to like chop a guy in half, like literally in half. And Tyrion's giving him shit when he sees fire and he like retreats and he's like, eat shit, dwarf. It's like, that's the hand of the king you're talking to.
Well,
and he says, fuck the king, and he leaves like that.
And I think my favorite part of that episode is Tyrion on the battlefield chopping legs.
But that's a good one. I really enjoy
That's
that
a great
episode.
battle. I love that. Like you almost forget
and
about
Tywin
it because
steals the thunder at the end.
Yeah, because he comes in, but like, I think the awesome part of Blackwater is like, all of like the big ginormous like epic battles like you kind of associate with like the latter half of the show, but that one happened earlier and it was like, you don't like it almost gets like, lost in all of like the dialogue driven episodes of like their earlier seasons, but I mean that's a hell of a battle.
I love when
a lot
Stannis,
of key
like,
players
clearly cuts like the top of a guy's head off. Too.
Yeah, a lot of key players too in that battle like end up surviving and making it to the end of the show too. So like that, it's just awesome to see like where like the show started and like where the characters end up.
Yeah, so that's a good one. I think we mentioned most of them.
And Joffrey being a bitch.
Yeah. Watchers of the Wall's a great one. We talked about Hard Home. Yeah, Battle of the Bastards. Those are all great. Yeah, I think we covered it. We can move on. So
one of the most satisfying moments of the show is when Ramsay gets eaten by his own fucking dogs after the Battle of the Bastards.
And when Jon hits him like 30 times. Right before that too, like they really stuck it in your face. They're like, "We're gonna kill this fucker how you want it." It's great.
It was awesome.
So, let's put ourselves in the shoes of someone born in Westeros, and if you could pick which house to be born into, what would you choose? And I think that this question's interesting though, because it's like, are you basing it off who you are now or like your fictionalized self in this world? Because if I was born in this world and I'm just Mike Stuglis, I would probably want to be a Tully in River Run because you could fucking fish. You grow up in the woods. It's a cool area. And what are their values? Family, duty, honor. Like, I'm down with that. Like, they're an honorable house. So that's like me being a goody good. Like, yeah, I want to be a good person. But let's be fucking real. If we're in Westeros, you want to play the game and be a shithead. I am going with the Baratheons, which is ours is the Fury. And on the model of Robert Baratheon, which is in your youth, you're this fearsome fucking badass warrior. He has a warhammer. They're a stag. He has all these badass brothers, too. And then once he becomes king, all he does is fucking whore around and drink. That's what I want. And then he dies by a boar.
God bless Bessie and her tits.
He was awesome.
Oh, man, he was great.
When he sees that, he's like, "You've gotten fat."
You're a fat dumb as shit.
And Joffrey doesn't count. He's a Lannister.
Yeah.
He does not count.
No.
Renly, in the books, Renly's much cooler. Renly, Stannis, Robert. Like, I'm down with the Baratheons. And that Battle of the Trident, everyone just envisions as being awesome when Robert killed Rhaegar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would go with them. Just kind of being a fucking brute.
I like that pick. So I do like Robert Baratheon. And I feel like the Baratheons like house like
Storm's End, great name.
I haven't read the books. Like I heard that like they're like a lot cooler in like the books. Like, do they get like more into?
I think Renly's much cooler in the books. You kind of get the feeling that he has a lot of king qualities. He's very personable. He's a man of the people. He's kind of like a poster boy and exotic. He's funny. Like, he's very cool in the books. And Stannis is, the eldest brother, and he has no personality whatsoever, but he's a genius in terms of combat. So, yeah, I would say they're very cool in the books. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be associated with the Lannisters. Just because of all like the fucking family fucking that's going on in there.
They'll hate each other too.
Yeah, there's just a lot of a lot of pent up sexual energy, and that's why they all fuck each other. I feel like
Only 2 of them fuck each other.
I feel like there's a lot more. I feel like I associate them with like the real life like British royals too. And,
the Habsburgs.
Yeah, so there's like a lot of
extended chins.
Yeah. I like you. I feel like myself, like I'd want to like be in like the Starks because like I love the cold weather. I love wolves. And like that'd be cool to like walk around on like this big like furry cape. Like that'd be awesome. Like get like a big like cool sword. But
Ice. That's the name of Ned's sword.
Yeah. I think like I might stick to that, but like you want the real cop out answer? I'd want a fucking dragon.
Talk about incest though.
Yeah. I don't want a dragon. I'd want to like ride a dragon and burn people alive. Feed my dragon the people that disagree with me.
You're probably gonna like sleep with your sister though. Or like a first cousin.
Well, I mean that's when I say like no, like I said the Starks. Like weren't you listening?
In Dragonstone, their throne there's cool as fuck.
Yeah, that's cool. I love
by the beach.
I love I like that they're by the beach. I love the view that they have. Yeah. Mine is the cousin fucking. Yeah, dragons would be cool, but I think like gun to my head pick. Like I love cold weather. I love that I can also like go down and see all of my dead relatives in one place.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Sunspear, which is the Martells, too hot for me. There's like snakes and shit. I'm not about that.
Yeah, I'm not a desert guy. I'm not a hot weather guy.
But apparently all they do is bang. Like I heard they're
pretty open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're into polygamy.
Yeah.
Once again, in the books, the Greyjoys in the Iron Islands much cooler. They're like the Vikings. In the show, I think they're kind of stinky poops.
I would agree. But I hate boats in water. That's a real life. Okay. That's a real life fear of mine. So I don't think I would enjoy boats, water, or islands. Even as like a mythic character.
Aaron's would be cool too. Lord of the Vale. You live in the fucking mountains.
It'd also be cool to just like not be anybody and just be like hot pie.
No. No. Because then every time you see
just big breads.
The King's Guard come through, you're worried about getting murdered for no reason.
Yeah.
Remember when Arya's like, they killed Lummy, and the Hound's like, what the fuck's a Lummy? So, okay.
It'd also be cool to be unsullied.
Yeah. No dick?
Well, yeah, but then, like, you're a badass.
I think I'd rather be a Dothraki.
Yeah,
but they lay with their horses. Yeah, I'm not into
You've
bestiality.
got a lot of dick then.
It's like too much dick, no dick.
Too much dick or no dick? Well, Grey Worm gets some.
Yeah, he must be good with his hands and mouth.
As long as you're good with something.
Okay, that's where we'll call it. I enjoyed the Game of Thrones reflection. I feel like the animosity actually died down the more we talked a little bit. We got out our frustrations.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
There's still a lot.
Absolutely not. Seasons 5 through 8, there's some gripes there.
Yeah.
But overall, it's HBO's most popular show of all time. You know, and it's going to be one that's talked about for years to come. Who knows? Maybe the ending gets like a cult following. I don't know. We'll see. I doubt it, but we'll see. And do not forget to comment, guys, who your champion would be, who you thought the best politician was, or who played the Game of Thrones the best, the most shocking death, favorite battle, and your favorite house. Where would you want to be born?
I'm viciously pointing to the comments. So if you don't do it.
Also, as we already mentioned, do not forget to like and subscribe. We love doing this. We hope you guys enjoy it as well.
Turn on that bell.
Yeah.
So
Turn
you know
on the
when
bell.
So you know when we're coming on. And then for our audio listeners too, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5 stars. We're 5-star men.
And head on over to charactertheory.com. If you like our content, there's plenty more over there. I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got.
Oh, it's fall. So this is a fitting ending. Winter is coming.
Oh, I like that.
A little cringy, but we'll stick with it.
Not really. It makes sense. I love it. I'm wearing fucking jeans. You see this?
Yeah. Go Bears.
Go Bears. Football's back, kind of, I guess. Let high school kids play.
All right. We'll see you guys.
All right. Bye.